No, no, Batman, Father, too. Oh, I know, I got my name on. I got my name on. I got my name on.
Yeah, but woo! Yo, it's your boy Cool Eagle. 92, never forget that 92. That was a great year. You hear me? 92 was a great year. I know y'all been wondering, like, yo, where the bull been at, man? Why I ain't been doing no videos? Um, the last couple of games, specifically the first two, why? Yeah, man, I felt like those videos was just unnecessary. Didn't have to do them. Wasn't really a reason for me to do them. Shout out to all the other people that make the content, doing recaps of the games and whatever. You feel me? Salute to y'all. I just felt like those was games I didn't really want to talk about. It's the Oakland Raiders. I'm sorry, Las Vegas Raiders and the Washington Commanders. Ain't too much to talk about. Commanders was good last year. It's a different story. They ain't good this year. Ain't nothing to talk about. I also just think, you know, those two games was games you just had to take care of business. So sometimes when you got to take care of that business, you just do what you got to do and get up out of there, man. Sometimes you don't need to talk about it and gloat. And that's just one of those situations where it just felt like ain't nothing to gloat about beating the Raiders and the Commanders. Now we play the Commanders again, but we already solidified and situated with what we doing. So again, just go take care of business and get right up out of there. We ain't even playing with them. I will say this though. I think that game against Buffalo, it was some good and it was some bad, right? And I mean that's every football game. It's not a football game in this world where it's like, damn, these niggas played perfect. They played perfect. Because, it happens. That's why you have adjustments. That's why you have halftime. That's why you go through all the things you go through because, the game is built on momentum. So if a team is losing, their job is to try to steal the momentum back. If a team is winning, their job is to keep the momentum going. Football is nothing but momentum. It's mental more than it is physical. It's a physical part to it, for sure. No questions asked. But it's more mental than it is anything. And I feel like in that Buffalo Bills game, the first half, mentally, we were perfect. We were right where we needed to be. Right where we needed to be. Ugly type of games we win. You get what I'm saying? Second half, we looked like a team that didn't know what to do offensively. Defensively, we were there. Um, I was having a conversation with one of my brothers, and I told him, I'm like, I think with that second half, and he kept saying this. He like, bro, no matter how good the defense play, like eventually they're gonna get tired. And I'm like, man, but how we playing, it don't even look like these cats is tired. But then you have to really put it into a realistic mindset and be like, the offense is only on the field for 4 plays, and they're giving the ball back to the opposite team's offense. Consecutive drives, yeah, that defense. Eventually, you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired. It's a part of it. It's just a part of it. It's not mad. You know what I'm saying? It's not mad. It's not a video game. This is real life. So I really think the Bills game should tighten us up a little bit more for this playoff run. A lot of people think that Bills game should have went the other way. I honestly think that Bills game went kind of ideally because it showed that the Bills have no real offense production if it ain't James Cook or Josh Allen. And they didn't have Kincaid. Yeah, they didn't have Kincaid, so you know what I mean? Like they were definitely limited with their weapons. We pretty much handled Shakir pretty good. The one person that was getting off on us weirdly was fucking Brandon Cooks. And this dude just somehow we got a couple games against us where it was just like I know he got 200-yard games on us for sure. But dude hasn't had 100 yards since, let's see. And I'm not trying to kick him down when I say this because I thought Brandon Cooks was pretty good in his prime. Bro ain't have 100 yards since 2023 against the Giants. That's the last time he had 100 yards. He had 9 catches for 173 yards and 1 touchdown. Now let's go to this week against us. I think he had, or last week against us, he had 4 for 101. 25 yards a pop. Now, obviously, those are deep passes, but that's what he is. And we all know that. But I just feel like in situations like that, man, the defense, I mean, you can't stop everything. You can do your best to stop everything, but you just can't stop everything. Something's going to work. You know, you do your best to make sure you stop everything they do, but something slips through the crack. You get what I'm saying? Something slips through. No matter how solid you think you are, it could, you know what I mean? It could slip through the crack. Running game was terrible. Passing game was good first half. They got to figure out this run game. They got to figure it out. Cats was saying like, oh, the run game back. And I'm thinking like, the run game not back. It was against the Commanders and the fucking Raiders. So it's going to look like that. But that's why those teams are where they're at right now. And then you go up against the Buffalo Bills team, who I think, let me see. I'm going to double check it just to make sure I ain't tripping. But I believe they're like one of the worst. They're like one of the worst. I'm gonna just look it up statistically all the way through. Um, let's see. Total defense. Okay, total defense. They're number 8. They're actually higher than us. We're 13, so that says a lot. They've allowed 42 touchdowns. We've allowed 31. So we're better defense than them, but totality, they're a better defense. Or as the rankings say, they give up less yards than us. They give up 303. We give up 316. I don't know how exactly accurate this is, but yeah. Now they do have the number 1 passing off defense though. They give up 163 yards per game passing, and they only gave up 18 passing touchdowns. So that is by far. I ain't gonna say. Hold up. That's not. That's right there. Only teams that gave up less touchdowns. Hold up. I'm gonna do it one more time. Only team that gave up less touchdowns. Them guys right there. You know what I mean? Them guys. We gave up 13 touchdowns, 13 passing touchdowns on the season. 193 yards. They give up 163. So that's the reason why they're ahead of us yardage wise. And I guess ranking wise they got it, but we got the least amount of passing touchdowns. So cats don't really, you know what I mean? They don't throw on us like that. Now, Russian defense. Right? Russian defense. That means how many yards do you allow a team to run on you for? Right? I'm looking at top 20 right now. The Bills ain't even in the top 20. Eagles are actually tied for top 20 with the Cowboys. That's crazy, right? Tied with the Cowboys. That's the only thing we got in common. We both gave up 123 yards rushing a game, but we only gave up 18 rushing touchdowns. Damn. The Rams only gave up 8 rushing touchdowns this year, y'all. 8 rushing touchdowns. God damn. Seahawks gave up 9. Seahawks top 5 defense in the league, though. I think that they're top 5 defense. Rams is definitely up there, maybe top 10 defense. They're definitely a top 10 defense. Who was number 1? Number 1 is the Jaguars. Who would have thought that? But that team, they've played a lot better than what people expected this year. I'll give them that. I'll give them their credit. Now let's get back to this run defense with the Bills, right? Remember I said they weren't even top 20? I'm at 25. That's the Cardinals. I'm at 28. That's the Bears. Guess who's next? The Bills. The Bills give up 140 yards rushing and 24 touchdowns. So let me just double check. Yep, I know I wasn't tripping. I know I was right. I just wanted to double check, make sure I was right, because, try to be correct as possible, right? They give up the most rushing touchdowns in the league, yo. And we couldn't run the ball on them. We couldn't run the ball on them. Now, they do have a top 15 scoring defense. They give up 22 points a game, 42 touchdowns on the year. So most of them touchdowns is probably through the run, because I think they only gave up like 18 passing or something like that. So, yeah, if you could do the math, most of their touchdowns come from the run game. Let me see. Red zone defense. They barely make the top 20. They number 19 with 58%. They're tied with the Jaguars. Eagles, number 8 in the red zone. Now, see, this is what I can tell you, right? This right here, that ain't a lie. That ain't a lie. You saw it. You saw it, yo. How many times was them boys in the red zone? How many times did they come out with points? Exactly. So, the defense, oh my God. The defense, by far, played lights out. Their defense, second half, played lights out. I ain't gonna cap. They played lights out. What you want me to say? You want me to lie? Tell it. I mean, nah, it's the truth. They played lights out. They played lights out, man. And they deserve their credit. I give Sean McDermott and his defensive crew a hell of a round of applause, because them boys, they made the right adjustments, man. Couldn't do shit second half. The run game is just, it's invisible, yo. It's invisible. And it shouldn't be, but we gotta get it together. We gotta get it together, y'all. Run game wise, we gotta get it together. Jalen looked good throwing the ball in those in that type of weather first half. He looked good. I said, okay. But then I also was saying to my homie, like, yo, bro, this weather shouldn't affect us. Only because we built for this. We kind of come from like the same type of background. You get what I'm saying? Same type of cloth. Now we a little bit more relevant in winners. You feel me? We've been winning the last couple of years. We've been winning a little bit. But, you know what I mean? The Bills have been relevant for at least the last, I want to say, 5 years. Strong, where it's like, yo, they got a chance to make the Super Bowl. With this quarterback, they got a chance to make the Super Bowl. Because you know that's how it goes. They always push the quarterback, say that that's going to be the reason they make the Super Bowl. But yeah, felt like the defense, boy, I'm going to keep saying this, man, our defense, they did as much as they could, y'all. They did as much as they could. I could tell that they was tired of that. Because it was plays, I'm like, yo, they ran these plays earlier, we were stopping them. It's fatigue. It was the fatigue. But I do want to say this next week, right? They say we got a chance. If we beat the Commanders, And I think if the Bears lose, we could go to number 2. Now, in my mind, in my heart, right? In my mind, in my heart, I think we should definitely, I don't like to say pray, but we should wish to get this number 2 seed. You know what I mean? Um, that number 2 seed in the door is very justice because if we number 2 or number 3, they still got to come. They still got to come to our stadium. You get what I'm saying? Which is what we really want. So we're getting a home game regardless. But if we had that 3 spot and we might have to play, let's see. I want to double check y'all. You know what I mean? I want to be factual with y'all. That's all. NFC playoff picture. All right. Let's see where we at. All right. Yep. Get that out there. All right. Okay. So right now, Seahawks number 1. But I think if they lose, they would drop down to 5. They'd drop down to 5, right? So if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 will play 4. And 4 is either going to be the Bucks or the Panthers, right? But if the 49ers win, they go up to 1, right? And then Seattle come down to 5. Now Seattle will have to play the Panthers or the Bucks, right? If the Bears lose, if the Bears lose, they just drop down a C, and they don't drop from 2 to 7 or nothing like that, but they'll go from 2 to 3. Yeah, because we both 11-5, so they would just go from 2 to 3. So they would probably play. If they stay at 2, they play the Packers. If they go to 3, they play the Rams. Us at 2, I love for us to have the Green Bay Packers first round. You hear me? I love that. I would love that. Yeah. I love that. I would love that. I would love for us to. I would love for us to play the Rams first round too. But you know what I mean. I'll. I'll take that. I'll take that. Us playing against the Packers first round. Jordan Love or Malik Willis. Shit, Matt LaFleur could get out there and play quarterback. It wouldn't even matter. I mean, the way this defense playing, they ain't getting shit off on us. It's just the offense. Green Bay's defense is pretty good. They ain't world stoppers or nothing like that, and they don't have their guys, so that's a huge thing. But they did pick up Diggs, which I liked. Thought that was a good pickup for him. I wish Micah wasn't hurt. I mean, so that Diggs Micah relationship could have been like, yeah, bro, yeah, come on. I mean, I get it. I ain't gonna cap you, yo. I wouldn't have minded if we'd have picked up, bro. Fuck it, put him on the other side of Quinion and go. Oh my God. First of all, they gonna try him. Yeah, cool. But then you get a chance to make your name again. You feel me? You get a chance to make your name. So I think Diggs going to the Packers is a good move. It might not be a good move for this year. You get what I'm saying? But I get it. I like the move for them for the future. They got a couple good not rookies, but young corners out there. They got some dogs out there, some young lions. They got my boy back there, safety McKinney. McKinney, top 4 safety in the league for sure. You can't name 5 safeties better than Xavier McKinney, and he do it all. So it's like, you feel me? Like who you really? Maybe Kyle Hamilton, maybe Derwin James, maybe I like Petrie too, but I don't think Petrie better than McKinney. You feel me? I don't think Petrie better than McKinney. Petrie's nice though. Petrie probably top 5. that safety, it go up and down, man. It go up and down. You could be here, and then next year you down there, and they don't really show love to the safeties. So I always try to show love to the safeties because as a former safety, defensive back, that's a hard ass position to play, yo. They say all these other positions is hard. I agree. Safety is extremely hard. You're the last. My dad used to tell me this all the time. You're the last line of defense. So if you miss the tackle, he's going to score. That's pressure right there. Anyway, like I said, man, this matchup against the Commanders, it's the Commanders. We ain't tripping. I mean, go in there and handle business. I did see that they said Tanner McKee gonna be the starter. They probably not gonna play none of the guys for real. If they do, they should play Smitty so he get his stack and to take him out. I'm gonna be honest. I would do that. I play Smitty so he get his little 1,000 yards, get his little incentive, and then we could go from there. But other than that, ain't no real reason to play too many of the starters. Lane should definitely be back for the playoffs. Lane should definitely be back for the playoffs. I just want to double check, but he should be on path to be back for the playoffs. Let's see. Full schedule. We ain't worry about the schedule. Fuck the schedule. Roster. Nah, not the roster. Let's go to the website. Fuck it. But let's see. Shout out to Marcus Epps too, yo. Shout out to Marcus Epps. I told you I like to give credit to the safeties, man. Epps, I thought about us losing Makuba. That shit would kill us. And he a rookie, so he probably was gonna make some mistakes anyway, but he was playing very, very well. Yo, I'm not even gonna cap. He was playing very, very well. And I thought when they did look to like fill his position in, I'm like, who would they pick? I kept going with Justin Simmons. I'm like, let's just go get Justin Simmons, man. He know Vic's defense, and it really shouldn't be an issue. But Marcus Epps. I love Marcus Epps, man. I'm sick he didn't get a chance to win that championship with us. That year we played against the Chiefs and we lost. But Marcus Epps has always been he's always been a solid safety. Like, he ain't never been like, okay, yeah, Marcus Epps top 5 safety or top 10 safety in the league. I mean, he probably had a statistic gear like that, but he's just a solid dude, man. And sometimes that's what you need on your team. Like, everybody's not going to be, Hall of Fame players. Sometimes you just need some Pro Bowl, he might not even make the Pro Bowl, but sometimes you just need those type of level players. Like, everybody can't be here. You get what I'm saying? Not saying we can't get you to get up here. We probably could. But it's the reason why it's levels and tiers and stars and, you know what I mean? Like, it's a reason why. Everything happens for a reason. So, for Marcus Epps to come in, I'm not even sure if he ever played under Vic before. But I feel like we haven't really missed a beat. You get what I'm saying? As far as, like, losing Makuba, I feel like we was, like, right back on what we needed to be on. Adoree Jackson, I want to give him his credit because I was killing him earlier in the season. I want to give him his credit. Adoree, you have been playing a lot better. I feel like in the playoffs, teams are still going to try to attack you, though. But now as I think about it, I don't even think Adoree Jackson ever been to the playoffs. That might be something new for him, too. You know what I mean? These are things you got to, like, take into account. Ability, like, all right, bro never been to the playoffs, so the moment could be a little too big for him. But then I think, like, Shit, you get paid to be out here, brother. So it's pressure, yeah. Shit, you been having pressure on you all your life. You know what I mean? You been having pressure on you all your life. So get over your little bubble guts and, get ready. Let's play. I do think us I feel like Dean should be ready for the offs. All right, they said Dean. Dean got the hamstring. Jalen got a hip. Marcus got a concussion. Goddard knee. Lane Johnson foot. Jalen Phillips ankle. All right, so some of these injuries, I'm not even gonna cap. Only two probably wouldn't play. Is probably Epps because he probably cleared the concussion protocol, and maybe Dean because it's a hamstring, and we know how hamstrings could be. You don't want to. You don't want to play with the hammy. You don't want to play with the hammy. You don't want to play with that. You know what I mean? That shit is tight. Take your time. Let it come back. You know what I mean? Because fucking with that hamstring, boy. Mm-mm. Now, for this next game against the Commanders, Josh Johnson is the starter. Josh Johnson is the starter. Marcus Mariota is out, which is totally understandable because you really don't even need You don't need Mariota out there. You don't need Mariota out there. And if you had another quarterback other than Josh Johnson, like a younger dude, I'd have put him out there. Fuck it. Like, let's see what we got with Cuz, because we ain't going nowhere this year, and we asked. So let's not even worry about trying to like. Let's not even worry about trying to like uh get a win. I mean, yeah, you could play spoiler, but what are you really spoiling for us right now? That we won't make it to the second seed. We still going to the offs. So either way, 2 or 3, we in the offs. We in the offs, right? All we got to do now is secure these wins in the offs. It would be a lot more favorable for us if we had home field throughout the joint, right? Throughout, like you feel me? Y'all got to come to Philly regardless. It will work out for us, right? But if us at the 2 or the 3, all you need is the number 1 seed to lose, and then now we got home field throughout. It changes that fast. And the 49ers are capable of losing the first round. Seahawks are extremely capable of losing the first round. Shit, the Eagles is capable of losing the first round. I ain't gonna cap. I mean, because it's football, anything can happen. But who you putting your money on to lose in the first round? Even the way we've been playing all year, I'm still taking the Eagles to win that first playoff game. I'm still taking it. First of all, it's hard as shit to play in Philly during the playoff time. Just look, the only team that really gave us a run in Philly during the playoffs was the Rams. And I always tell people the only reason why that happened is because of Matthew Stafford. The type of quarterback he is. If he was Jared Goff, that game would have been blowout. You get what I'm saying? Stafford, heart. Y'all can check my old videos. Stafford got the heart, got the arm, and he not quitting. He not quitting, yo. I don't give a fuck. He down 40. Unless the coach take him out, Stafford is still going to be willing and dealing. So you look at it like, you know what it takes to come into Philly to potentially win. The Rams. 49ers, don't see it. Seahawks, who else is in that wild card? Seahawks is number 1 right now. 49ers, Rams, Packers. Those 3 teams. Packers, Seahawks, Rams. 49ers. So Packers, 49ers, Rams. Right? Purdy in the cold, I like us. Jordan Love in the cold, Woo! I don't give a fuck if he playing the cold. Bull do not play right when it comes to playing against the Eagles. And I'm going to take that back. Because he has played some good games against the Eagles. He has been in close games against the Eagles. But he hasn't won. I remember when he filled in for Aaron Rodgers. This was like a couple years ago. It had to be like 2-3 years ago. Maybe even 4 years ago now. And we was beating them. And they put Jordan Love in. And he came in and they're like, look at this young cat. Woo, 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 right? That game against us kind of gave him kind of helped his story. So when he got a chance to get that bag, it started from that game going forward. You feel me? Because I think that next year he became a starter. They went to the playoffs. They beat Dallas. Woo, woo. He get that bag that offseason. And he get a big bag. So I ain't fucking with Kyle. What I will say is, us in the playoffs, I like us against anybody. Another thing is, I like us against anybody in the playoffs because we can travel. You know what travels? Defense. It's supposed to be defense and the run game. It's supposed to be both, but Petula and everybody else that's in there, they just can't seem to get this run game right. I don't want to ever put what's name on my boy Stoutland. Ever. Stout, you my guy forever. And I ain't ever meet you. But you my guy forever, bro. You one of the greatest offensive line coaches ever. Ever. They've been saying that since Reed, and they still say it now. One of the greatest. What I can say is, I do think that this week, depending on who wins and how it shuffles, it could be a lot of teams. A lot of these like high seeded teams could be really upsets. You get what I'm saying? They could be really upset. I just want to go through. I'm gonna just go through the AFC real quick too, y'all. All right, the Broncos could definitely lose the first round, but they got the number 1 seed, so they're gonna have that bye. So it would technically be the second round, but you know what I mean? Patriots. Okay, the Patriots can stay at 2, I believe. I don't think they could go up no more. The Patriots are 2, so 2 would play 7. Patriots versus the Bills. It's a good matchup. I like that. They could lose though. They could lose that first game. Jaguars. Nobody in this world is sold on the Jaguars. Everybody keep doubting them. And it's mostly because of the quarterback. People like the head coach. They like the defense. They like the offensive skill players that the Jaguars have. It's just something about Trevor Lawrence. He hasn't really equaled out to being that, number 1 overall pick, sunshine, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. It hasn't really worked out. This is probably his best year statistically. Statistically, this is probably his best year. I wouldn't even probably say statistically. I'd probably just say overall, like performance-wise, because he did make the playoffs before, and he got that comeback win against Justin Herbert. So he has 1 playoff win under his belt. We'll never forget that. But if we being honest, cats don't like Trevor Lawrence. Now we go to this. Who's fight? Okay, all right. So we know who's fighting for the 4th seed in the AFC. That's the Steelers and the Ravens. Either one of them teams could definitely lose first round. Not sold on the Steelers. I haven't been sold on the Steelers all year. I'm just not a fan of what they trying to do over there. Like, you got DK, you had DK and Pickens, and you decided to let Pickens go to the Cowboys. When in all actuality, you should have kept Pickens, let Pickens play this year out, and then he could do whatever he want. He still was going to get a bag anyway. You feel me? Still going to get his bag. But him, Pickens, Rodgers, those tight ends, the running back, now you feel me? Now y'all have been really working with something. Y'all kind of would have looked like, you know what I mean, y'all lower state cousins. You get what I'm saying? Like, all right, I mean, we kind of built like the Eagles. We ain't got a Saquon. Our offensive line ain't like y'all's, but we got two wide receivers who dogs, definitely alphas, definitely both ones. They definitely number one receivers, both of them. And you get what I'm saying? It could have worked with something. Their defense was solid, extremely solid earlier in the season. It started like weaning off, then they got back to it a little bit. Their defense is up and down. But I felt like they made some real bad decisions to start the season off, but they still in contention for the playoffs, so you can't really argue that. The Ravens are pretty much the same. They piss me off with their receivers because I feel like y'all keep giving either Lamar these fast receivers who really can't catch like that, right? Or you giving them these slow receivers who can't get open. Now his two tight ends is, you mean? Likely and Andrews, they dogs. Derrick Henry's a dog. Offensive line, some of that offensive line is really good. They got some holes in there, but that offensive line is pretty good. The defense ain't been ideal to what we maybe be accustomed to seeing the Ravens defense be like, but they started tightening up on the back end of the back end of the season because I think they started off 1-5, and for them to be 1-5 at the beginning and then turn out to be, what are they, 8-8? So what is that? 7-3, right? Yeah, 7-3. So they went 7-3 on the back half of that 1-5, and it could have got ugly. You feel me? They could have tanked the whole season and just threw everything away, but they didn't. And I want to give their organization some credit for not giving up, not quitting. That was major. That was major. But yeah, out of that 4 seed, right? They play the Texans. Either one of them teams don't want to see the Texans first round. I don't think nobody in the AFC want to see Texans first round or see the Texans in general because that defense is crazy, boy. That defense is crazy. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans, former Bird. You heard? I mean, defense is lights out. So they're definitely a team to be extremely worried about if you are on the AFC side. Chargers, they can get put out first round. They're gonna play. It is fucked. They're gonna play. They're gonna play what's the name first round. Chargers are gonna play Jags first round. So this is a rematch. Herbert and Lawrence. So maybe he can get his win back. Maybe he can get his get back. Got a better coach now. So you know what I mean? Maybe that works out for your boy. But I don't know. And then at 7th seed, like I said, is the Bills. Bills will probably play. Well, Bills are going to play the Patriots. So, like I said, man, playoff is right around the corner. I purposely didn't do no videos on these last games because I'm getting ready for the playoffs, man. We a playoff bound team. First time back-to-back NFC East champions since McNabb. I think that was 04, 05. Yeah, man. I look at it at this point like the only way the only way we don't get to where we want to be, which is the Super Bowl, is if the offense don't come to play. I'm not saying that the defense is not going to come play, but in the playoffs, you're playing against a lot better teams. Do you feel me? You're playing against a lot better teams. So when you're playing against a lot better teams, it's a chance that your defense could get scored on or allow some points. This is a better team. This isn't the Oakland Raiders. This isn't the Washington Commanders. This isn't the New York Giants. Do you get what I'm saying? These are teams. This isn't let me look at another worst team. This isn't the Dolphins. This isn't the Saints, the Falcons, the Titans, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Raiders. I said the Raiders already, but this ain't the Bengals. The Chiefs was pretty shitty this year, but do you get what I'm saying? it gets a little bit more deeper in the aspect of the game when we in the playoffs and everybody has to be on the same page. Like people always say, you want to be playing your best football at the back end of the season going into the playoffs. You know what I mean? If you start off and y'all have a great, you know what I mean? Everybody ain't gonna do what the fucking Dolphins did and the Patriots did. You feel me? Basically finished the season undefeated. The Patriots just lost in that last game, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's hard as shit to do that. It's hard as shit to just go through a whole season and not lose. So when you get to that back end of the season, like after your bye or whatever, that's the time you want to be hitting on all cylinders and getting ready and getting in gear for the playoffs. Defensively, we have been on that. Offensively is the issue. That's why I'm not counting the games against the Raiders and the fucking Commanders. I'm not. I'm more counting the game against the Bills. Like, okay, first half, that's how you're supposed to play offense. Because that's going to be like, that's a playoff atmosphere type of game. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're going to make all the right adjustments. They have players on both sides of the ball that can get busy. So, fuck around and find out. That's playoff football. Playing against the Commanders and the Raiders aren't playoff football. That's like playing against your Lord. So, I just want to say, man, in all actuality, and I'm going to go out on this song again. Playoffs is here, baby. Playoffs is here. I can't wait. I really think I'm not even gonna hold you. I really think the Eagles are gonna win the Super Bowl. Yo, I'm not even gonna cap, and I'm trying to not trying to be biased. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be for real. I'm trying to give you real answers, real shit. But you know, like my man Crit said, man. At the end of the day, these niggas don't give a fuck, dog. You feel me? I've been doing this shit, man, since I'm 5, man. I got shut down. Representing Mississippi, man. I'm from PA. I ain't from Mississippi. Shout out to the SIP, though. Y'all country the motherfucker, but my lyrics is crazy. I make my own beats. What the fuck? They like, look what you gonna be about, and now they wanna see you going. All of that been done before. Now, what I'm gonna say to y'all, man, is yo, follow me, like, subscribe, share, shit, comment. I want to get it to where I'm a little bit more interactive. I want to start doing like live posters on YouTube. So I think I'm gonna start doing that soon. I'm just trying to figure this shit out a little bit. You know what I mean? This it's not as easy as it may seem to some people, man. You know, this takes a lot of work, a lot of hard research and time. It's really just time, you know, because I love football. This is something I really love. I've always loved football. So this is something I'm going to put my heart, my passion into, and it's about my birds. So I'm really going to go all out. Just stick with me, man. Real Eagles fans, y'all know, man. It's been ugly before, and now it's so beautiful. So it's like real Eagles fans know, like you gotta stay down, but you keep fighting. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't from Philly. I ain't from over there. That big building over there, I ain't from around there. Come down 95 before you get the exit 6 to 3. That's your boy. That's your boy. Big shout out to Philly. Big shout out to Chester. Big shout out to all the Eagles fans, man. Big shout out to all the Eagles fans, man. It's your boy Cool Eagle, 92. Like I tell y'all, that was a great year. Don't forget it. 92 was a great year. Might not have been a great year for the Birds. It was a great year for the Birds, 92. But we did lose Jerome Brown, 92. And for all my Eagles fans, true Eagles fans, man. I was born the same day Jerome Brown died. June 25th, 1992. That's the same day Jerome Brown died. My dad always told me that shit. And I always think, like, was it inevitable for me to be an Eagles fan? Like, don't get it wrong. Most of my family Eagles fans. My pop not, though, but most of my family is Eagles fans. So I always thought, like, was it inevitable for me to be an Eagles fan since Jerome died on my birthday? And Jerome just wasn't anybody. You know what I'm saying? He was Guy. He was Guy. He just was with another great guy. And they had a great, I mean, they had a great team around them. That defense was crazy. Shout out to Buddy Ryan, God rest his soul. Reggie White, God rest his soul. Jerome, God rest his soul. You know, so I've been an Eagles fan since 96. 96. Man, I can't say since 92. I was born 92. 93, 94, 95. 95, I started watching football. 96, yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. I already knew I was an Eagles fan, though. I always knew I was an Eagles fan. Nobody could ever tell me I was a fan of any other team. I've always been an Eagles fan. Nobody could ever take that from me. So, like I said, though, man, like, I fought y'all. Like, subscribe, share, comment, shit. Check me out on Instagram, Cool Eagle 92. I think it's Cool Eagle _92. Just, I mean, fuck with your boy, man. I'm here. I'm not just here for myself. I'm here for y'all, fellow Eagles fans, and just the Eagle community. You know what I mean? And we just gonna fly high always. Fly Eagles fly, man. Bird gang always. Always. And guess what? Fuck the Cowboys.